What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. Salute to the whole family. I want to get into a couple of things. Well, let's start off with this. I had saw a video stating that Deontay Wilder and Mark Brealand have parted ways. So when I first see, something for the first time, and if it's not coming from like a major news source, I kind of hold off because I don't want to have to say rumor has it, but certain stories you will get out sooner than later. But I don't like to go off of that because there's been many times when we hear something and then come to find out it's just a rumor or it wasn't true at all. Now, Shelly Finkel did make it known that it's true that, Deontay and Mark Brealand parted ways. Now, what I've heard was he was fired. Okay, what was said was he was fired. So, however you want to put it, parted ways, fired, but he was fired. Now, the thing is this, okay? People are going to make videos, and they're making them as we speak, okay? As of me making this video right now, there's no details, no explanation as to what the details are. Why did he fire him, okay? And what most people are doing, they're going back to him throwing in the towel. Now, for me, it could be true. Maybe whatever was going on never set right with Deontay, and Deontay just kept him around. But to me, that just sounds petty. That sounds childish. And plus, this is business regardless to people from the outside looking in as it's entertainment. But this is business. If, you were going to fire him for throwing in the towel, that came up before that he was fired. And then it turns out he wasn't fired. So to me, to wait 8 months later to say, okay, you know what, I had enough, I'm fired. You're fired. That to me just that's like childish. Like, maybe those things, like I said, never set right with Wilder, and maybe, he was, who knows? More than likely there were probably things going on. And I'm talking about just whether you want to say from that time up to now. I can't really, how much sense did that make? Something you did 7 months ago, I'm going to fire you for it now, instead of just doing it when he started to. Maybe when it was supposed to happen the first time, maybe he was talked out of it. Who knows? I don't know. And nobody does know. So everybody speculate what they think it comes from. And I heard this and I heard that and I heard this. And it's just basically drama. They don't have anything to say about the story because there's no detail. So we don't know what the details were. And I'm not going to sit and say what I think it is. I don't really care about what it was, to be honest with you. And I don't care to sit here. It could have been this. It probably was this. It probably was that. It's not going to change what the actual truth is. And even if I say something and say it's right, so what? Bottom line is he's gone. Now, people are saying, oh man, that's sad and that's messed up. And okay, speaking from the fan standpoint, or just looking at it like, hey, the man's out of a job. Or however, maybe they like Mark Brealand as a fighter, as a trainer, and whatever. But here's the thing. That's water under a bridge now. Who his new trainer is has not been revealed. So this is why I don't understand why people have so much to say about a situation. Like they know the details, and all they basically doing is telling you that they don't know the details, because they don't. So there's not much to say about that other than, as far as I'm concerned, for me, we don't know who his new trainer is going to be. I think that would be completely stupid that he would fire his trainer and don't have another trainer and just think, oh, well, somebody will come along. No. Whatever's going on, I think it would make more sense that Deontay knows who he wants to bring in. Whatever wasn't working and why it wasn't working, that's the past now. So what he, who he brings in, what he sees being fit for his camp, for his team, is yet to be seen. He knows what his reasons are. And, you know, whatever he does, whoever he recruits and bring in, if it helps him to not just beat Tyson Fury, but to be a better fighter, period. And, you know, going forward, if all of those things add up and help him, then, hey, you know, it's his career. He did what he had to do. So, you know, everybody's making, oh, man, I can't believe he did it. And, oh, yada, yada. You know, when everything first happened, initially, it's like he, you know, might have possibly saved your life by stopping that fight. Possibly, okay? You know, that's how it was, you know, everything had happened, so it was new. It was still fresh in everybody's head. So, you know, and all the things that was said about, you know, the snakes in the grass and all of that, and you know what I'm saying? So people make up their own little movie in their head, you know, as to what he meant, who he was targeting and whatever. So the fact that JD's is still there, you know, a lot of people are, you know, there's a lot that could be said about, you know, a lot of questions about what happened. Because, you know, remember, the things that, you know, we're hearing involving Wilder, most of that stuff, none of it really, hardly any of it even came from Wilder. We know the little that Wilder said in the few interviews he did after the loss, you know, he didn't say very much. And as far as regarding the fight and his, you know, what happened, he didn't even speak on that. But regardless, you know, people are going back to saying it's because Mark Brealand was an informant. He was doing a lot of shady stuff, and he was doing, and they're speaking as if they know. You are someone with a YouTube channel that watch other channels, and you're making all these comments, and people, like I said, make these movies up, and they're talking as if they know what happened. No, you don't know what happened. None of us do. So, you know, bottom line is whatever he's doing, if it makes him a better fighter, if it works for him, if his training camps go better, you know, whatever. However, if it works out for him, that would be the focus, I would believe. So, you know, from according to Shelly Finkel, that, yeah, it's true. Mark Breland's done. Now, moving on from that, I saw several posts. And again, you know, I haven't seen anything or heard anything. When I hear anything, I try to go right to the source to find out what was said, and then you don't find these videos. Now, I've heard several posts talking about Jamal Charlo is saying he wants to fight again in December. He is fighting again in December. So he didn't say who, against who. And then immediately after that, I saw a video saying Canelo Alvarez wants to fight Jamal Charlo. So after that, and then the following day, I'm seeing all these different videos about this person called out this person, and this person wants this person. So a lot of, at some point, you know, I'm not going to sit and watch every single video. I don't need to. You know, when I watch certain videos, it's just to get different people's perspective on what's going on. You know, see how certain people feel about what and why. And then, you know, I dig into the situation, and then I come up with what I feel with certain situations. Okay. Because a lot of times people bring up old stuff and try to bring something that happened 2-3 years ago and try to make it relevant now. You know, it wasn't said who he was going to fight. If it's a Canelo fight, okay, this would be huge and everybody would know about it. So, you know, saying that you want to fight someone and then Charlo saying that he wants to fight again in December, you know, we don't know against who. So the people that we want to see fight, yeah, people are going to bring up, you know, Canelo or Triple G, you know, or somebody like that. You know, all of these guys right now are getting a lot of attention, and this is a good time for fights that we want to see that happen. Now, I also heard that Tank Davis fight is being pushed back so it can take place in front of a crowd. Now, I don't know if that was a misquote or someone was saying that he has a fight scheduled, because I saw something that was kind of shady looking, and I'm okay. You didn't even get past this fight yet. How the hell are they going to have a second date? So, you know, that's why I said certain things you look at and it's like, okay, no. And I listened to the video and I said, okay, this doesn't really make sense to me. So, anyway, if that's true, that it would make more sense that this fight that he has coming up is pushed back. But at this point, they're so close and he's already, you know, in such good shape. To move it back now is like, okay. But anyway, I'll dig into that later because I don't know. what's going on as far as that. Also, I was looking, wait, pause. Okay. Also, I was looking at another post that said that Jamal Charlo now wants to unify. We know Jamel Charlo just unified. So we know that everybody wants to see Jamal Charlo versus Demetrius Andrade. So, you know, my thing is this, right? If it's about people, instead of just saying who they want to see fight, to just make up a post and say that these fights, or this guy said this, or this guy said that. A lot of times that happens, people, and I'm bringing that out for this reason, because when, like I said, when you speak on something, you want to know that it's legit. And a lot of times I see posts and I watch the video, and in the post, all they're doing is saying, I think. Well, it would seem like, well, I would believe. Well, then nothing was confirmed. This is a person trying to be strategic and putting pieces of a puzzle together to see who he think, what goes next, what's going to happen next. This is what people do. So, you know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that, Demetrius Andrade and Charlo is fighting next, or Canelo and Charlo is fighting next. No, I saw posts that said that, and then I saw videos that also stated that. Now, another fight that is confirmed is that Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce, they're going to fight, and it's going to be, you know, empty arena, but they're going to get it done. A date was never said, you know, by, you know, fish eyes. A date was never given. Venue and any of that. He just basically said that the fight is definitely, it's a done deal. It's going down. And that fight is so long overdue. That's a fight I wanted to see, you know, and so at least we know we're getting that. As far as, you know, Jamel or Jamal, whenever they return to the ring, we don't know. And basically, what they've been doing lately, is, you know, whenever Jamal fights, Jamel fights. So they said going forward, that's what they're going to try to do. So if Jamal is talking about coming back in December, more than likely Jamel would too, you know, and he's already unified. So when it comes to Undisputed, when it comes to these guys, you know, fighting the other champions, well, you know, that's what we want too. You know, you're not going to get Undisputed in every single division. You're not going to get it so often either, you know. But you got to look at who are title holders, and then who would these guys be going after. There's a lot of names that come up, and like I said, people bring up names that they want to see, more so than them getting information saying that this fight is in the works right now. So those things, you know, we don't even know that these things are actually supposed to happen. The most of what we're hearing about Canelo, you know, is his lawsuit with the Zone, and you know, I didn't hear anything from Canelo. I didn't hear anything from Charlo. So, you know, we don't know. And like I said, you know, Demetrius Andrade responded to a video that Billy Joe Saunders made. And they were kind of like going back and forth, insulting each other. So that fight, they're both saying that they want to make. But now, have we heard any promoters? Have we heard any, you know, details of any date and time? No. So, you know, these are just, if anything, they're just mere formalities. They're not even something that's, you know, there's nobody who even sent contracts. They didn't sit down and negotiate anything. So, you know what I'm saying? At that point, they're not even formalities. They're just rumors. And yes, this did come from both fighters saying, let's make the fight. I want the fight. But this was going on a video, going at each other. This was not, you know, any negotiations with anybody. No promoters, no sanctioning bodies, nothing. Just these two guys going back and forth. And that's as far as we know about those situations right now. So there's no need to sit up and make a movie out of it and go into this is going to happen. And I think this, I think that. But he said, and it seems like, because at the end of the day, you get your hopes built up that you're going to see these fights, and then the fight doesn't happen. And it just another example is I also saw someone have a channel and said Benavidez versus Caleb Plant. And it said, it had their pictures up there, and it looks like the way it is, like they're going at each other. It's not even true. It's not even true. I looked into that and nothing at all came up about that. And there's no way, you know, understand people, when you are a top name, okay, when you're a draw and you are coming back, just like Adrian Broner coming back, for example, right? We don't know who Adrian Broner, who his opponent's going to be. So we know that when they just say, you know, Adrian Broner returning to the ring, it's not going to be something that's considered a big fight. It's not going to be some mega fight. Okay, that would be like, you know, Floyd coming back to fight Pacquiao, but they just announced Floyd's return. No. When you have two big names, they want this thing to stick. They want people to gravitate towards it. So you're going to get, you know, who's fighting who. So no, there's no Benavidez and Caleb Plant in the works. You know, if it is, nothing's been spilled out about it yet. So, I mean, you know, the thing is, these people put these things up as if this is, you know, like this is actually in the works. And then as soon as you start watching the video, they start talking about what they think. And, oh, this guy, you know, he, I don't think you want to fight him because he said, and it's like, so you did this for clickbait. So you know, I watch certain things, and after I hear enough, it's like, okay, I don't even need it. So it's a lot of videos. I had, in all honesty, guys, it was like 3 videos I had that I was going to put up. I started to download, then I did my homework on it, and then I'm like, this is bullshit. No. And I scrapped it. So those 3 videos never even came out. You know, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and put something out for clout. I'm not going to sit here and fool people just to get a like on the video. I'm going to tell you the truth of what I know, what is, and if I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. You know, just looking forward, I'll say this. For every fight that we want to see, instead of people holding on to, oh, it's not going to happen because he's not going to fight, this guy doesn't want to fight this guy, and I know it's not going to, and he's this, and he challenged him 5 years ago, and this guy, you know, like I said, you know, in the previous video, people are always talking about this guy, scared of this guy, and this guy, this and that. It's like, look, things going forward, things change. Okay, there was times when nobody wanted to fight Floyd Mayweather until he became the cash cow. There was times when nobody wanted to fight Errol Spence until they thought they saw holes in his game. You know, it goes on and on. There was times when people didn't really want to fight Mike Tyson. But once Mike Tyson became that guy, it was like, you know, it's not so much that they even wanted to fight Mike. It was just, that's going to be the biggest payday of their career at that time in their life. You know, unless they could beat Mike and go forward and make some, you know, big money. But everybody doesn't, it's not that everybody just, you know, everybody is not because you're scared. It's just, it's business, you know. And when you look at who's who, there's a lot of fighters, like, you know, let's take Aaron Pryor, for example. Look at what Aaron Pryor accomplished in the amateurs. You know, he came to the pros and had you know, he had a good career, but look at the names. The biggest name on his resume is Alexis Arguello. And to be honest with you, if you notice with Aaron Pryor, people always say he was a great fighter, and the only fight that they ever bring up is the Alexis Arguello fight. They never really talk about his fights at his career. They just tell you how great he was and how, and sparring, how he was giving Sugar Ray work, and, you know, people didn't want to fight Aaron Pryor. But as far as celebrating his career, look at where he stands as an all-time great. And y'all know me, I don't even care about all this greatest of all time stuff, but as an all-time great, look at, people don't even talk about Aaron Pryor. When they do bring him up, they'll like I said, they'll tell you, oh yeah, he was this and this, and then yeah, he beat Arguello. Okay, who else? Who else? And who else? And who? They never talk about his opponents. You know what I mean? It's kind of, he kind of reminds me in a situation like what Gary Russell is in. You know, a guy that have all the talent in the world and can fight, but, you know, and listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, sitting up saying who you think would win and, oh, this guy could, that doesn't change the fact. That's like, you know what? That's like, just imagine you have a talent You can outdraw or outpaint anybody, yet you're not getting paid for it. Nobody knows you. The world doesn't know of these talents. You have a talent that nobody's noticing except for people around you. So does it matter that we can brag about you and tell everybody how great of a painter, how great of an artist you are? It's bigger than that. So yeah, you know, the fights that we want to see, just be patient. And you know what? If anything, hope that the fights do happen. Let's hope that the fights do happen. And that's why I encourage people, when you go on these people channels, stop going up there, you know, nut hugging and kissing ass for them. Going in, you know, hey, looking forward to see you fight. Hopefully we get you and such and such. Stop speaking as a fan and just speak as a person from the, you know, that hey, we want the good fights. You know, you guys like to go on people's channels and, hey man, oh my God, I love your style. Oh my God, I can't. Oh man, I've never seen anybody like you. Oh my God, like, hey, you know, you're going there as a fanboy wanting to just praise these guys. No, go there and go to their channels and yeah, make it known who you want to see them fight. How about doing that? Instead of holding on to, oh, these motherfuckers don't want to fight you. They don't want that smoke. They scared. They know what time it is with you. They don't want to fight you. They don't want to fight you. They don't. This is all y'all, you know, this is music to people's ears. Because a lot of times what you don't understand is the people that you guys are praising, it could be them that's holding the fight up. But as a fanboy, no, it's not him. It's the other guy. I don't care about that. If you notice, like you hear me now, there's fights. I don't mind giving my opinion and say who I think can beat who. But you notice whenever I'm talking about a fight, what they always say, may the best man win. So even doesn't matter who I want to win. That doesn't mean you're going to win. Okay? You know, in short, just say, for example, I think Anthony Joshua is the best heavyweight. And whoever Anthony Joshua fights, I want Anthony Joshua to win. Now, can I guarantee you that he's not going to lose? No. No, I can't guarantee that. I'm telling you who I want to win. I'm not into that, oh, but I'm promising you he's going to win. I guarantee you. I'll bet the house on it, all that bullshit. No, I can't guarantee that he's going to win. You know, I look at the skill set, the tool that each fighter has to work with, and I look at, you know, you assess what you see in each fighter. Like I always say, you do not know what's going to happen fight night. All you can do is go by what you see, what you think, and then we see what happens. Does it make sense for me to sit here and guarantee victory? Like I can't go in there and fight for AJ. You know, like I always say, the only person I can guarantee and back up that I know he's going to come with 100% every time, or what, that is me. And even me as a human being, anybody can have a bad night. Anybody can not be motivated to feel, you know. So, but I'm saying I can't sit here and guarantee what another person is going to do. I just know when I look at certain fights, like if you take a fighter like Paulie Malignaggi and Sean Porter, we saw what happened, right? Okay. Those are two fighters that if they fought 20 times, Sean Porter, in my opinion, would do the same thing to him every time because it's a mismatch and Paulie has nothing. Okay? Paulie has nothing to keep Sean Porter off. Now, I think that AJ is a better boxer, more skilled fighter than Deontay Wilder. Okay? And in my opinion, when they fight, I'm going with AJ, and I believe AJ can beat him. But at the same time, we know that Deontay Wilder, you know, we know he can punch. So we know that if anything, he has a puncher's chance to win. And we know that. So I can't guarantee that he's going to win. I strongly believe he will win if he goes in there and do what he's supposed to do. But at the same time, because even both fighters at 100%, one fighter is far more skilled than the other and hit hard enough to knock, you know, even when people comparing their power, it's like, listen, first off, let me tell you how this is something that you guys got to look at. It doesn't matter who you think hit harder. Okay? Mike Tyson hits harder than Evander Holyfield. But who got TKO'd when they fought each other? That's what matters. Larry Holmes is nowhere near as hard a puncher as Ernie Shavers, but who got beat when they fought? Who got knocked out? So that doesn't matter. And to show you when people are trying to be biased, well, let's just say, you know, and I'm still not sold on he has a stronger right hand. That's his best punch. And let's say if he does, is his left hook harder? than Anthony Joshua's? Is his right hook harder than Anthony Joshua's? Is his uppercuts harder punches than Anthony Joshua's? You understand what I'm saying? So having one punch versus someone who has it in both hands and can get you out with either shot, are you can take that into consideration? So with all that being said, with all the advantages that I believe and see that Anthony Joshua has, it's still not impossible for Deontay Wilder to win. Now, if he wins, of course, he'd have to knock him out. I don't see him beating Anthony Joshua, but like I said, we're humans. And shit can happen. And we know he has power. But at the same time, power is not always enough. Julian Jackson had power. Everybody who talks about Deontay's record or Mike Tyson's record, right? Look at Julian Jackson's knockout ratio. Julian Jackson had it in both hands. So, but Julian Jackson lost to guys that wasn't the hardest punchers in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's not always about that. It's who can land first. It's just like if somebody has a 50 caliber gun and somebody has a 22. You might feel more comfortable because, shit, one of these bullets hit this motherfucker, he's dead for sure. That 22 might hit you, that 22 bullet might hit you first. And that's what it comes down to. Who can land the big shots first, or who can avoid getting hit constantly and the accumulation of punches pile up. So when we're talking about these fighters and what they bring to the table, what I'm saying is who you like is who you like. But there's no guarantee a person's going to win because you never know. That's why we always consider fights upsets, because the person you thought was going to win lose. And you look at all the strengths and abilities that they had still. I mean, same thing. People feel like Alexis Arguello was a much better boxer than Aaron Pride. Aaron Pride was energy. He was pressure. He was speed. He was power. Aaron Pride was like a little buzzsaw. But they felt like Arguello was going to beat him. He was too technically sound. And look what happened when they fought. Now, we know in the first fight with the mixed bottle shit and, we know what happened with that. But rematch was no contest. He destroyed Alexis Arguello. And that was really the end of Arguello at that point. Now, who would have thought it, though? Who would have thought it? If anything, people feel like now, in the rematch, they're going to make sure that there's nothing mixed in those bottles and he's not going to get an advantage like he did in the first fight. But second fight was no contest at all. He made Arguello look like trash. If the first time you saw Arguello fought would have been there, you would have thought, man, this guy's not that good. Why everybody bragging about his skills? Pride destroyed him in the rematch. Either way, we want to see fights, man. Stop. Everybody that keep talking about that this guy's not going to fight this, man, look, wishful thinking is not going to change it and insulting is not going to change it. But I'm saying, we keep supporting these negative narratives because even fighters like when Charlo said he doesn't want to fight Demetrius Andrade because he's trash, I believe that he just doesn't like Demetrius Andrade. You ever saw the video where they was walking and he locked eyes and Charlo was looking at him like he wanted to knock his head off? I believe it's a genuine dislike right there. And, sometimes people just, they have that, I can't stand that guy type feeling inside of them. And then, things have, people have, they have their emotions, which is why I don't like to be an emotional person because it doesn't change, what's really real. It just affects what could be. So, if these guys don't fight, I'm not going to lose any sleep. But yeah, it's the fights we want to see. So I want to see these fights happen. I mean, if you whether it's Julian, whether it's Rosario, whether it's whichever Charlo, whether it's Canelo, whether it's Derevianchenko, whether it's Andre, whether it's Caleb Plant, whether it's Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot. Whether it's Canelo, man, we got a lot of fights that could possibly happen. And these guys are not far off in weight classes, so these fights can happen. So, I mean, would you sit in your house? Would you sit in your house and let's say it's cold outside? Would you sit there and cross your fingers and say, I know for a fact this stupid heating system is not going to work? I mean, hoping that it works is not going to change it, but you'd be more positive, right? And you'd make effort to go out and make sure you get somebody to come fix it if you don't know how to do it yourself, right? You'd at least make that effort. So that's what I mean when I'm saying stop going to these people's social medias, telling them how great they are and whatever. And if you want to, I don't do that worship and praise shit. I don't. I give credit where it's due and move on. I don't do that worship and praise shit. But when you go on their pages, you guys are such fans, man. And I'm talking to those who do it. I'm talking about the guys who actually do that. Start, but then go and bitch about this guy's not going to fight this guy and this guy's not. Well, make it known. You don't have to be disrespectful. Just make it known that, hey, we want to see that fight because you have the power of social media. They provide a platform and you can voice your opinion without being disrespectful. Most of the people that go on social media, that's all they do is show disrespect and argue with each other like little sissies over nothing. Like, you calling somebody a dick, somebody calling you a bitch, blah, 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 blah. And all you basically doing is going back and forth about nothing, praising these people and worship and bowing like they're your gods or something because you don't want to see this. Nobody beat them. So when somebody says this guy can beat this guy, you get an attitude and get offended like a little kid. Just make it known. I'll be perfectly honest with you. AJ is the heavyweight that I want to see win, right? I can't tell you the last time I've been on any social media page of AJ's. I like the positive messages he was putting out on AJ Boxing on his YouTube channel. I can't tell you the last time I've even been on there. I don't go to these people's channels praising them and, big upping them about it. No. What I do is when someone fights, I may, hey, man, job well done or something like that. Give them a thumbs up sign or something like that. And that's about it. And the reason why, and I'm going to be honest with you, why I really don't do that, for one, I'm not a fan, but I'm just, so I can give you props on my own channel. But if I do that, but most of the time, these people don't even respond to you. They don't even, hey, appreciate that, nothing. They'll just, and most of the time, what I know, most of the people in entertainment, period, don't even really handle their social media channels. Most of them, someone is doing it for them. And, you should feel really stupid if you keep going to your favorite fighter's channel and you keep, leaving messages and they're not even responding to you. But yet you paid $80 or whatever to watch them fight, or you buy tickets and go to the fight, spend all your damn money and broke as fuck after you go to those fights, but you got to see a good fight. And then you sit and just say, hey, good job. And then these guys don't even respond to you. But it's even like certain channels, certain boxing channels. There's times where I've gave certain channels their props. And it's not personal. But if I can just take the time to say, hey, man, you got a nice channel, keep up the good work, and they don't respond, but they respond to every other message above and beneath yours, sometimes people are just funny style like that. Nothing personal, but you'll never get another big up to your channel from me. Now, there's things that happen, which is why I made a video explaining before. I said, hey, sometime, and it's like, whoever lives in an area where you have Wi-Fi issues, you can make a video. That's why sometimes I make the videos, and then I gotta, make sure I know how to handle that when I'm able to, where I can get to where the videos get out. Because you can send a video 10 o'clock in the morning, and then when the Wi-Fi is really bad, it could be 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's like at a 10 or 11%, like, god damn. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to get to an area where, okay, it'll move. So things like that. Sometimes people might send a message and I don't see it. Like right now, I'm doing this video on my tablet. Most of the time I do it on my phone. Okay. And what happens is they download at 2 different speeds. So the phone is a lot faster than that, but it depends on where I'm at. But either way, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and keep sending messages to people and they're just not responding. And then, like I said, they respond. It's one thing that they're not responding to anybody because they're busy and they just haven't got to their messages yet. But, you have to, understand. So even like these arrogant ass people who have channels and you just tell them, hey, we got a nice channel. What happens, a lot of them think that you're clout chasing to try to get more subscribers by going to their channel. That's what they think. And I've heard a guy make that comment at one time. And I remember, the same guy, somebody from on one of his channels commented they commented on my channel about something, and that guy, he didn't even respond in the comment section. He DM'd me, and he know who he is. He DM'd me and said, yo, man, I like what you're doing. Keep it up. So I responded to him and said, I totally intend on it. I said, I gave you the same blessing. So maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't. That was just to let him know that I did respond. That I didn't respond. I gave him the same thing he just gave me first. And then he responded by saying, yeah, I saw it. And, you know, a lot of times people just come on your channel and you know, they're clout chasing to try to get more subscribers. So, you know, I'm not going to do that. And, you know, but I see that you're putting in that work. And I just said, well, I really don't care about all of that, because me personally, I don't use nobody to get anywhere. You know, good people come along, things happen, and, you know, things grow. But as far as me, you know, and he's like, nah, I ain't, you know, I'm not saying you, what I'm saying, like, you know, I didn't know at first, but I said, and I'm just like, yeah, okay. I said, well, yo, it's neither here nor there. I'm doing my thing, you do yours. Good luck. And that was the last time that I heard from him or been on his channel or whatever, you know. But there's a lot of people that have that mentality. But, and I also told him, I said, well, you know, in that case, remember this, you didn't start out with 30, 40,000 subscribers either. He's like, nah, true that. That was, you know. So, yeah, you didn't start out with that either. But at the end of the day, does it really matter? You know, I'm not in competition with anybody. So how fast somebody else's channel grow versus mine is really none of my concern. You know, I'm focused on what I'm doing. I'm not in this for that nonsense. I'm not caring about what you do. I hope you do blow up. So guess what? You got a solid channel. That's more content for us to enjoy. See, that's the thing with me. I believe in spreading the wealth. I support everybody. Now, well, if you don't support me, I don't support you. That's how that goes. I'm not asking you for anything. You know, I have no problem with shouting anybody, you know. But when I see that people have that, man, fuck this motherfucker, I ain't shouting him, not a problem. Fuck you right back. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not asking you for anything. And I guess people don't like when you go on their channels and people agree with you, but not them. And it's their channel or whatever. I don't know. I really don't care. But that's some inside shit with these guys. Anyway, look, y'all. This is all well, no, before I say that, you know, between school, my training, and going to work, my schedule is so tight. So I try to get these videos in for y'all how I can and as fast as I can. So bear with me, because, you know, it's just the way it is, man. Like I'm juggling with time so much, you know, and I try to keep the content coming. And sometimes, like, there's been other videos where, like, if you know, I do something and it doesn't come out the time that I think it should come out, I'll just scrap it too, because, you know, certain things. So yeah, I mean, I'm very busy right now, doing a whole lot, just trying to get things in order, in better order, and, you know, keep things rolling. You know, it's life, man. You know, with this COVID, is messing up a lot of things. So we're trying our best to do what we have to do to just make it, man. So I'm doing what I have to do. This right here, out of everything I'm doing, could be the thing I could just leave out the lease and say, hey, man, you know what? I get to that when I can. But I still try to get the content out for y'all. And I think I've been doing a good job. I like to believe I am, you know, due to the situation with everything that's going on. So, yeah, I'm handling business in life, man. I'm trying, you know, got a family to take care of. We take care of each other here. We love each other and we make sure that we're good. And that's how it's supposed to be. So, you guys are my family as well, man. And you know, I do what I do and do what I can. So that's all I'm going to say in this video. And remember, never fall in love with lies, and the truth brings hate out of people. Catch y'all in the next video.